The Reunion, a Ruby short by Trademark Kill. The clank of metal on metal rang through the broken ballroom as two combatants fought viciously. One fighting for revenge, the other fighting for pure survival. The action happened so fast that all you could see is the blur of the white coat and the black uniform of the fighters. With one big clash, the fighters collided, sending each other backwards on impact. Both stand there, out of breath from the long fight. "What are you doing, Blake? I am only trying to bring about the change I have sworn to bring to our people," said Adam, trying to catch his breath. Blake stood, staring daggers towards her former partner. "Your revolution is a crime, and it is nothing I care for. What I care about is the damage you have done to my friends. You are just the first step to avenging them, Penny, Pyrrha, and Yang." Blake charges Adam once again, and they clash swords in an epic combat. Flashes of sparks fly as metal meets metal. Puffs of smoke are the only way to trace the movements of the fighters. With one giant spark, a body flies against the staircase wall and crumbles. Blake lands in the middle of the room as Adam falls to the floor, leaning against the wall. "Why must you hurt me, Blake?" Adam said. "Hurt you?" Blake questioned. "You do not know the meaning of the word, nor do you know the feeling of true pain." Adam rose from his position and stumbled towards Blake. He was visibly shaken, leaning on his sheath to support him. "Come then, my beauty, slay your beast if you can," Adam said as he prepared for the final moment to come. He sheathed his sword and stuck it tight against his hip, hand firmly gripping the handle, readying the most powerful strike he can muster. Blake sees her moment and rushes forward, but as she reaches him, he draws and decapitates Blake. He sheaths his sword just as her head hits the ground and disintegrates into a shadowy puff. With one mighty strike, Blake reemerges and delivers a blow into Adam's chest. She whirls him on her blade over her head and slams him into the ground. A bright red glitter embraces Adam's body as the last of his aura is depleted. Adam lays there, unable to move, as Blake readies her final blow. "You and I were destined to light the fires of revolution," Adam spoke, as if reciting a speech once uttered to the ears of a loyal subject. Blake looked down, almost sadly, at the beaten man, and said no, only I was. As she finishes her words, she hears a blast from above, like a shotgun unloading a shell. With Blake's cat-like reflexes, she dodges out of the way, the shot obliterating what was once Adam. "You are only destined to run, old friend," a voice spoke, "like you did when I once needed you." A figure with long blonde hair and dressed in black and red robes appears standing at the bottom of the stairs, her right arm covered in a black, corrupting substance that reeked of grim. She looks up at Blake with burning, red eyes. "Yang," Blake said in utter shock, at seeing her once lively and fun-loving friend now speak so coldly to her. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is something I've been working on for a while, and it's a scene I really want to come to fruition. It's one reason why I really focused when I did my Yang analysis video on having an evil Yang, or a corrupted Yang of some sort, was because I feel like this, in its entirety, this idea and of this scene was very kind of poetic in terms of how it could happen. And I didn't add a lot of detail because there's so much more about the world we don't know of. I didn't want to put too much in there assuming and putting a lot of assumptions in terms of how things work or things we haven't been able to find out clearly yet. So there are a lot of shortcomings, and there is a lack of detail, but all in all, like, the idea of this scene was was a kind of a brainchild of mine when I saw all the pieces fall into place at the end of Volume 3, and I really thought about this a lot, and this is kind of like, there's another scene after this that revolves around the actual Blake and Yang fight scene that I didn't want to get into too much because there's a lot that could happen. But this is kind of like the setup because it's so ironic that Blake would go on this manhunt for Adam, get him pinned into a corner like I said in my Blake analysis video, and then not be able to reap her revenge and have Yang take that. And that's why I also said that Adam would be in this corner, pinned into this corner, because he's now losing ground and he becomes expendable. And then Yang is given the order to track him and just get rid of him. And in doing so, she takes the pleasure or like the satisfaction, this is the word I was looking for, away from Blake and takes Blake's the kill steals basically. And I feel as long as things continue like down the path I see them, I think this is kind of a very poetic way to do it. And in terms of, as I said, not with a lot of detail in it, but kind of as a sort of outline towards what the story could entail with Blake and Yang. And as I said, there's a lot of stuff afterwards I can get into a little. The idea is if they fight and they do it, it could very much be a death brawl between Yang and Blake. And even if that happens, I do see Blake winning and Yang dying, or maybe Blake's being able to cut off the infection that is going to be her grim infestation that's going to give her use or something that resembling her arm back. And although that would really be like, there's a lot of things that could happen in this situation unless Yang stays evil and Blake is forced to put her down, or maybe. And there's also a situation of maybe Blake does win, puts Yang down, and in Yang's final like moments before she dies, she sees Blake get cut down by her mom or something. There's something really like, as I said, this would definitely be like end of series stuff. This scene does kind of ring end of series vibe to me, where we're wrapping down Team RWBY's story. But this is a brainchild that I've had, and I'll do an expanded storyline maybe if this gets a lot of views and you guys want to see an expanded thought process into the Yang and Blake fight. I'll happily do one, but probably not on the Road to RWBY Volume 4. And this is a part of the Road to RWBY Volume 4, so I hope you did enjoy. That's all really for me. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the description, in the comments. In the description, there'll be a transcript if I can fit it all of the story so you can read along. So like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, Trademark Kills out. Peace.